Donna E. Donna
Wallamas.
Thomas.
Wallamas.
Donna E. Rogan. Holmes.
Wallamas.
Hilare. Isa. Donna E. Darwin. Yuri. Hilare. Darwin. Rogan. Holmes.
Wallamas.
Donna E.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Yuri.
Hilare.
Hilare. Darwin. Darwin. Isa. Donna E.
Wallamas.
Holmes.
Wallamas. Wallamas. Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Rogan.
Wallamas.
Donna E.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Hilare.
Wallamas.
Donna E.
Wallamas. Wallamas. Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Rogan.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Hilare.
Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas. 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 Wallamas.
Zokantal. Donna E. Donna Hilare.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Donna E.
Hilare. Wallamas. Wallamas.
Donna E.
Wallamas.
Donna
Hilare.
E.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Holmes. Darwin. Holmes. Holmes.
Wallamas.
Isa.
Hilare.
Rogan.
Wallamas. Wallamas. Wallamas.
Hilare.
Wallamas.
Hilare.
Wallamas.
Hilare.
Wallamas.
Isa. Donna E.
Wallamas.
Rogan. Isa. Donna
Wallamas.
Holmes. Donna Rogan. E. Isa. Holmes. Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Hilare. Oklahoma. Isa. Yuri. Hilare.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Darwin.
Donna E.
Yuri. Isa. Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Oklahoma. Darwin. Yuri. Rogan. Isa. Hilare.
Wallamas.
Donna Rogan. E. Isa. Rogan.
Wallamas.
Rogan. Isa. Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Isa.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Holmes. Oklahoma. Donna E.
Wallamas.
Rogan.
Hilare.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Rogan.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Donna E. Yuri. Oklahoma.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Donna E.
Rogan. Wallamas. Wallamas.
Donna Hilare. E.
Wallamas. Wallamas. Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Rogan. Wallamas. Wallamas.
Hilare.
Wallamas. Wallamas.
Yuri.
Wallamas. 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 Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Rogan. Wallamas.
Thomas. Oklahoma.
Yuri. Wallamas.
Rogan.
Hilare.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Rogan.
Wallamas.
Rogan. Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Donna E.
Oklahoma.
Darwin.
Wallamas.
Thomas.
Rogan.
Hilare.
Wallamas.
Donna E.
Wallamas.
Donna E.
Oklahoma.
Rogan.
Donna
Yuri.
Hilare. Wallamas.
Rogan.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Yuri.
Rogan.
Wallamas.
Rogan.
Hilare.
Donna E.
Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Hilare.
Oklahoma.
Wallamas.
Yuri.
Oklahoma.
Yuri. Donna E.
Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Rogan.
Hilare.
Wallamas.
Donna E.
Hilare.
Holmes. Rogan.
Wallamas.
Oklahoma.
Hilare.
Rogan.
Wallamas.
Hilare.
Rogan.
Omus. Donna
Rogan,
E.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Donna E. Oklahoma. Darwini. Oklahoma.
Lare, Wallamos,
Omus.
Rogan,
Donna
Wallamos,
Oklahoma.
Wallamos,
Donna E.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Yuri.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Omus. Oklahoma.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Omus. Donna E.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Oklahoma. Donna E.
Wallamos,
Donna E. Omus. Omus. Oklahoma. Omus. Donna E.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Yuri. Oklahoma. Omus. Omus. Oklahoma.
Wallamos, Wallamos, Wallamos,
Donna E.
Wallamos,
Oklahoma.
Wallamos, 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 Wallamos,
Lare. Omus. Lare. Omus. Isa. Rogan. Darwin. Oklahoma. Darwin. Lare. Omus. Donna. Oklahoma. Omus. Donna. Oklahoma. Donna. Lare. Oklahoma. Darwin. Donna. Darwin. Donna. E. Oklahoma.
Wallamos,
Oklahoma. Yuri.
Wallamos,
Donna E.
Wallamos,
Yuri. Lare. Isa. Rogan. Lare.
Wallamos,
Donna E.
Wallamos,
Isa.
Rogan.
Isa. Donna E.
Wallamos,
Donna Lare. Yuri. Isa. Lare. Oklahoma.
Wallamos,
Isa. Yuri.
Wallamos,
Donna E. Donna E.
Wallamos,
Omus. Yuri. Rogan. Isa. Oklahoma.
Wallamos,
Rogan. Oklahoma.
Wallamos,
Donna E. Yuri. Isa. Donna E.
Wallamos,
Donna E. Isa. Yuri. Donna E. Isa. Yuri. Rogan.
Wallamos,
Isa. Isa. Donna E.
Wallamos,
Yuri. Rogan. Isa. Yuri. Donna E. Donna Oklahoma. Donna E. Isa. Omus.
Wallamos,
Rogan.
Wallamos,
Isa. Donna Yuri. Omus. Oklahoma.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Yuri. Isa. Yuri. Donna E.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Oklahoma. Yuri. Lare.
Wallamos,
Oklahoma. Isa. Lare. Omus. Oklahoma. Lare.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Lare. Yuri. Oklahoma. Lare.
Wallamos, Wallamos, Wallamos,
Omus. Isa. Lare. Rogan. Darwini. Yuri. Isa. Darwini. Donna E. Lare.
Wallamos,
Zokontal. Lare.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Zokontal. Omus. Lare.
Wallamos, Wallamos,
Holmes. Zokonta. 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 Lorry.
Walamaz.
Zokonta. Oklahoma. Yuri. Darwin.
Walamaz.
Rogan.
Walamaz.
Darwin. Somas. Yuri.
Walamaz.
Lorry.
Walamaz. Walamaz. Walamaz.
Holmes. Lorry.
Walamaz. Walamaz. Walamaz.
Rogan. Lorry. Lorry.
Walamaz. Walamaz.
Somas. Lorry. Oklahoma.
Walamaz. Walamaz.
Oklahoma. Rogan.
Walamaz. Walamaz.
Lorry.
Walamaz.
Donna Yuri. Donna Yuri.
Walamaz.
Somas. Somas. Oklahoma.
Walamaz.
Oklahoma.
Walamaz.
Lorry. Yuri. Donna Yuri.
Walamaz.
Donna E.
Walamaz.
Oklahoma. Rogan. Oklahoma. Donna Oklahoma.
Walamaz. Walamaz.
Donna E. Oklahoma.
Walamaz.
Homer. Oklahoma. Somas. Rogan. Donna E.
Walamaz.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
Yuri.
Oklahoma. Donna E. Donna
Yuri.
Lorry. Holmes. Holmes. Rogan. Lorry. Somas. Somas. Donna E.
Isa.
Walamaz.
Lorry.
Walamaz. Walamaz.
Donna E.
Walamaz. Walamaz.
Yuri.
Oklahoma.
Walamaz.
Holmes. Holmes. Lorry. Somas. Lorry. Somas.
Walamaz. 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 Walamaz.
Holmes. Holmes. Donna E.
Walamaz. Walamaz.
Holmes. Holmes. Rogan.
Walamaz.
Holmes. Somas. Somas. Holmes. Rogan, Holmes. Somas. Holmes. Glory. Yuri. Somas. Unes. Mighty. Unes. Somas. Mighty. Hunes. Ibertonic.
Volamos.
Holmes. Ibertonic. Erebus. Red Key. Donna E. Holmes. Holmes. Holmes.
Volamos.
Ibertonic.
Volamos. Volamos.
Holmes. 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 Somas.
Volamos. Volamos.
Zokontar. Holmes.
Volamos.
Holmes.
Volamos. Volamos.
Holmes. Holmes. Zokontar. Yuri. Zokontar. Holmes. Zokonta, Holmes. Holmes. Zokonta,
Alamos.
Holmes. Fury. Yuri, Holmes.
Malamos.
Holmes. Oregon. Yuri. Zokontar.
Malamos.
Yuri. Rogan. Zokontar.
Malamos.
Somas.
Malamos. Malamos.
Zokontar.
Malamos.
Donna.
Malamos.
Rogan.
Malamos.
Rogan.
Malamos.
Oklahoma. Donna.
Malamos.
Rogan. Zokontar. Rogan. Donna. Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Somas. Somas. Donna. Oklahoma. Holmes. Donna E. Somas. Oklahoma. Donna Rogan. Somas. Somas. Zokontar. Holmes. Somas. Yuri. Somas.
Start the game.
Malamos.
Zokontar. Somas.
Malamos.
Rogan.
No.
Holmes.
Oklahoma.
Donna E. Holmes. Rogan.
Malamos.
Zokontar.
Yes.
Somas.
Malamos.
Rogan. Yuri.
Malamos.
Somas. Lowry. Oklahoma.
I need
Lowry.
food.
Somas. Donna E. Oklahoma. Holmes.
Malamos. Malamos.
Holmes.
Malamos.
Yuri. Holmes.
Start the game already.
Donna E.
Malamos.
Holmes.
Donna E.
Rogan. Holmes. Holmes.
Pluribus
Holmes.
Erectus. Erectus.
Grenade! Holmes. Holmes.
Malamos.
Holmes.
Gold, please.
Hunes.
Malamos.
Holmes. Holmes.
Malamos.
Papadakis. Papadakis. Holmes. 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 Holmes.
Somas.
Hunes. Hunes.
No. Yes.
Darwini. Hunes. Hunes.
No.
Papadakis. Papadakis.
Pluribus. Ibertonic.
Holmes. Hunes. Hunes. Yuri. Holmes. Darwin. Papadakis. Papadakis. Holmes. Ite. Papadakis. Papadakis.
Erectus.
Oklahoma. Papadakis. Oklahoma. Darwin. Rogan. Papadakis. Papadakis. Hunes. Papadakis. Papadakis.
Erectus.
Hunes. Hunes. Somas.
Erectus.
Ite.
Pluribus.
Papadakis. Donna E. Papadakis. Hilare. Rogan. Holmes. Papadakis.
Erectus.
Ite. Papadakis.
Ibertonic.
Hunes. Ite.
Erectus.
Donna E. Papadakis. Papadakis. Holmes. Papadakis. Ricochet. Habadacus. Habadacus. Holmes. Holmes.
Une. Immortale.
Holmes. Holmes.
Immortale. Immortale.
Une. Habadacus.
Immortale. Erectus. Immortale. Immortale. Erectus.
Holmes. 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 Donna E. Holmes. 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 Holmes.
Malamar.
Holmes. Holmes. Holmes.
Malamar.
Holmes. Donna Holmes. Donna E. Holmes. Holmes. Glory Holmes. Holmes. Glory Holmes.
Malamaz. Malamaz. Malamaz.
Holmes. Holmes. Holmes.
Malamar.
Holmes. 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 Fury. Holmes. 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 Holmes.
gets the better spawn, or at least that's the theory.
I thought it's always Viper getting the better map spawn. With that being said, welcome to game number 1 in this best of 7 in between the Mista and the Viper. On the right side is the Viper as Blue English, and to the southwest it is Mista playing as Yellow Abbasids.
This is an incredible series that we are going to be bringing you. This is a best of 7 series, so if you're just watching this and starting it up, I hope you've got something to drink, and I hope that you have buckled up your seatbelts, because we are about to take you on the ride of your life. Viper now going to be opening up with just all of his villagers on food at this point in time, playing on the English. Mista going to be doing the same thing and going for that early mining camp, so not out on those berries just yet. We'll take a look at the map spawn. Specifically, I want to have a look in the middle of the map. We've got a little bit of a forest happening there. It looks like it might be walled in completely. How are these players going to make their way around this or through this? Can you see any way through at the moment?
I don't think there's a way through. You can loop around this way, or you can loop around this way, but probably this is the shortest path in between the players. Kind of reminds me of the game that the Mista played in the semifinals.
Yeah, it looks very similar, but I think this is actually, it's not a bad spawn. I will say that much. Obviously, that middle is just sort of, it's just tucked away there, but I still think it's quite reasonable. Both players are still going to be very close to each other. Main thing that I am concerned about for the Mista, and this isn't a balance issue, this is just me being concerned, is his gold spawns. Take a look at that. He's got 3 golds up on this northern face of his base. So in the event that Viper comes in, puts a little pressure on this gold mine, he's not going to have anywhere to run other than towards the eastern side of the map. There is 1 gold mine that sits down there, as well as a larger gold mine a little bit above that as well. But Viper going to be able to lock that down very easily, I suspect.
It definitely helps a lot for Viper that his gold mines are a lot more spread out. There is 1 on the right side, there is 1 behind his base, and this one is fairly well defendable as well, because you can sort of wall off the right side if needed, and this one is also somewhat wallable to your town center. So this is a very well defendable backup gold mine if Viper needs it.
And speaking of map spawns, can I just compliment the map spawn or the map generation for Viper right now? Literally every resource is behind his town center. Woodline behind the TC, gold mine behind the TC, stone outcropping behind the TC, and then scroll down a little bit, and of course you've got the berries that have spawned essentially behind the TC. The only thing that's missing is the deer, which isn't towards the back, it's actually towards the front of his base. So that is the only exception. So really, really nice spawn there, proving that it doesn't matter what color you are, it just matters if your name is the Viper.
He's going up with the Council Hall, only using 2 villagers to build it, whereas on the other side, as expected, we'll have the Economy Wing coming in for Mista, going very heavy on wood. It's possible we're going to see a second town center now. He said in the interview that he probably would have gotten 2 TCs going if he knew that the map was this defensive.
Yeah, my suspicion is that he's probably scattered this one out. Are we able to go check and see whether he's got sight of that stealth forest just yet? Yeah, he's got sight of the stealth forest. He knows that it's not too bad to get over towards his opponent's base, and I think that he's probably going to be looking to delay that. He does have 2 villages on gold, so perhaps we'll see him opt towards a fresh foodstuffs opening and then look to transition into that all-important stone. But at this stage, he's quite heavy on wood, isn't he?
He is heavy on wood, but even if he's not going for a second town center, the alternative is that he can go double ranges. He is going to need double archer ranges to match the archer production of the British player with the Council Hall.
Yeah, this is pretty big. The Council Hall is, in my opinion, one of the S-tier landmarks, or one of the best landmarks in the game. And the reason why is just because of how effective it is. So a lot of people don't realize that not only does it act as an archery range, but it technically acts as 2 archery ranges, being able to train longbowmen twice as fast as a normal archery range can. So it's essentially like dropping down 2 archery ranges at the very beginning of the second age.
And the thing that's impressive about it is that you have to spend 0 wood on making that. So you just age up with that. In comparison, the Mista has to make the Economy Wing and then invest 300 wood into double archer ranges just to be able to match the same production.
Yeah, and now going to be going up with the Economic Wing. We don't actually see any stone brought in for the Mista at the moment. No stone for the Viper either. So looks like it's going to be 1 base play for now. We will take a look at the Mista and see exactly what he's going to be starting off with as we spot in his base he does have some military buildings going down behind his base. It looks like a double stable opening. Now, Viper's scout is hovering around towards the east of his base. Probably going to be spotting this one out almost immediately. We'll take a look from his perspective. He does indeed spot the stable going down towards the backside of the town center, and Viper now going to be looking to potentially add a barracks of his own to defend against this.
He is going to need a barracks, but we also need to consider that a good mass of longbows is able to pick off horsemen quite easily. The horsemen have 0 pierce armor by default, so they die fairly easily to a big mass of longbows.
Yeah, so we might not even see a single barracks go down, just with, you know, the potential for there to be a double step. Already we're seeing that blacksmith come out. This is really nice from the Mister, being able to drop this blacksmith down, and we are going to watch him pick up +1 pierce armor very, very early in this game. 4 longbows already moving out down towards this this mill, and going to be aiming to protect it, provide a little bit of cover, and at the same time look to move out across the map. Keep in mind they are able to access each other's base through this stealth forest. You do not you do not have or you're not blocked off by going through this stealth forest.
Now, Viper doesn't have a huge army right now, and this is the moment where the horsemen can really make a difference. When it's only a small group of longbows, the horsemen can really easily pick them off. We already have the blacksmith up as well, as the defense upgrade is on the way, and this could be a great fight for Mista.
Yeah, he's already looking pretty good. We're going to see some nice micro out here from Viper, I do suspect. Probably get some splits going. He's going to have to look a little bit like a gymnast, but pokes already happening on that one horseman. He brings it back, actually doing a pretty decent job at 5 HP. So trying to get it into the mix, and now that second horseman going to be coming out and helping with a little bit of the damage. And Mr. very happy that he would have been able to force those units back, not take any idle time. And take a look at this outpost. Very preemptive outpost. He's actually got a couple of horsemen that he's going to be hiding in here. Very sneaky.
Viper moved out with just a handful of archers, so I don't think that he was expecting horsemen. Against horsemen, you wouldn't really move out that much. And once the defense upgrade comes in, Mista might be able to force an engagement here.
Yeah, Mister's going to be looking very strong. Keep in mind, he's got units inside that outpost. Now, Viper might not realize that there's units in there, but so he is going to be dropping down a barracks behind this. Keep in mind, Viper does love his barracks play, so we may expect to see some potential rams coming out very shortly. Set up camp now being completed for Viper as well. Going to be able to heal himself up. And look at this palings. Very, very cheeky. Going to use a couple of longbows to potentially bait out the enemy horsemen and then bait them back to the palings where he'll be able to pick them off. Taking out one of those villages now on the south side. This is very, very smart by the Viper.
That is such a Viper move. He knows exactly that the appropriate response from Mista is to jump on those archers because you want to pick off those low amounts of longbows with your horsemen. However, Mista doesn't have horsemen back at home to take them down simply because he's launching a counterattack.
And not only that, but can we take a look from the perspective of his opponent, the Mister? I'm curious to know. Obviously, dropping down that outpost, did he have line of sight of the palings being dropped down? I think he actually would have had line of sight of those palings being dropped down. So Viper thinking he's got a 5-head, but actually having a 3-head.
Moving in with the archers is Viper. Not a lot of damage to be done here. You see that there is just no villagers on the right side that could be picked off. Mista gives up on the berries, but he's got horsemen harassing Viper, potentially able to hit the gold mine here.
Yeah, he's looking pretty strong as he comes around towards his gold mine. It looks like a blacksmith going to be dropped down as well here, but now going to be forcing an isolation from this gold mine and preventing any of that gold income coming through. He needs to get these upgrades in, and he's going to be able to sit on this gold mine and just have a little bit of a party while he waits for reinforcements. The Viper does.
Viper needs that gold because he needs to get the attack upgrade on his longbows. So far, it looks like he's pulling back all the longbows, but that's all Mista wants, because the real problem for Abbasids fighting the English is in Feudal Age. Once we get to Castle Age, the Abbasids will just love it with the men-at-arms and springalds.
Yeah, Viper's army looking quite formidable at this point as well. He's got a whole bunch of horsemen out in his base, as well as the 5 horsemen that are doing a bit of a raid over towards the east that have now evacuated out. But Mister's army looking quite formidable now. Scout's going to continue spotting out the enemy base and the enemy units. And whose position do you favor at this point?
I think I like Mista's position to time it better, although it depends on how aggressive Viper is going to go. Because Viper can still pump out archers like crazy fast and turn this into a very good ram push. But I feel like if this game goes long, that actually favors Mista.
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset as well. I think the longer this goes, the more advantageous it is for Mister. Keep in mind, Viper does have access to the King's Palace as a potential age-up landmark. A very, very strong landmark. But interestingly, Mr. putting down a tower in the middle of the map in a kind of a weird spot.
Yeah, that's a weird spot indeed, because there's just no way to cross the middle there. It would have been way better either on the right side or the left side. I think he
Yeah.
knows that this is not crossable, so it's a little surprising there from Mista.
Maybe he's expecting a little bit of a sneaky Viper snake move through that forest. He could expect a slithering of some sort of units coming through. It's actually very quick to go through that forest if you want to. You just got to send out one villager to do it and micro it for about 60 seconds and he'd be straight through. So players can look to do that.
It's always a possibility, yes, especially when you're fighting Viper. Plus, of course, the fact that you believe it's closed doesn't guarantee it's closed. We have seen games where you thought it's closed and then suddenly you get killed by a bunch of knights.
Yes, games that you actually lose because of that. But now down towards the south of the map, we see a continual expansion by the Mr. moving out with just groups of 5 villagers everywhere, and I do like this from him. So we see 5 villagers up on these berry bushes here above his base. We see 5 villagers moving out towards the middle of the map, and keep in mind, this map is Lipany, so you're going to see extra berry patches. So as the game continues to move forward, Viper's going to need to add farms. Mr. isn't going to need to do that because he's very happy collecting these berries. He's got berry bonuses, including the double bonus for berries, which gives him 100% more berries in his berry bushes, and he's also got 25% gather speed on these as well.
Viper doesn't have a lot of mobility for his army, so the fact that these villagers are spread out pretty much guarantees that Viper won't be able to deny all berries from his opponent as he's moving in from the right side.
Yeah, now we'll have to look and see as to whether the Viper actually spots out this expansion down towards the south. He looks to be moving up around the northern face, and he is going to be spotting out these villagers, managing to get a volley off and taking out the first villager. The remaining villagers are going to manage to make their way out. Mr. looking like he's in a pretty solid position, but he is trying to get up to the castle age, and this has come at the wrong time for him. He needs to avoid fighting until he is able up to that castle age. But look, he's got quite a decent composition here. If it comes to it, I think he's actually got enough units here to be able to put the Viper down.
This is just enough units to scare Viper away. He doesn't want to take the fight, but he can take the fight if he needs to. And as you said, it's all about getting that castle age, and that berry bonus helps him get a decent amount of food in, and he's going to be the first one to click up to castle age by far.
Yeah, there's a huge amount of difference between these two players. So he's going to be able to click up to castle age and have a timing window here. And it actually looks like the Mr. is sizing up his opponent right now. Viper's got to be careful. The Mr. is definitely jostling for a potential counterattack, or not a counterattack, but a little bit of a flank. And Viper, what is he doing right here? Is he trying to bait out his opponent with this smaller force?
It's a possibility, but Mr. doesn't need to fight this one at all. He can just sit back. It's not like Viper is threatening him at all.
But Mr. continues to come in. Gonna have a little bit of a collapse here. Viper dropping down the healing circle. Got Paling set up on the back line as well. And he needs to be careful because those Palings, they're gonna do a lot of damage. Viper definitely happy with his performance here and really using those Palings to great effect. So splitting up his army, baiting out those forces from the Mr. and then getting them to come towards those Palings. And Mr. obviously respecting that and saying, hold on a minute, I don't want to fight around those Palings. They're gonna do too much damage to my cavalry.
Mr. retreating for a time being as he's planning a counterattack. Notice how Viper was hiding his scout in the stealth forest. Helps so much to find those counterattacks and he can react to it immediately.
Yeah, Viper doing a great job here, just really keeping an eye on all spots of the map. And you can see that that horseman manages to survive. Having that +1 armor really helped him out in that situation. Now Viper going to be looking pretty decent, but keep in mind his opponent is heading up to the next age. Have we got any sign that Viper is heading up himself?
It seems very unlikely. He's going double barracks, and we also have quite a lot of longbows coming out. He's just spending all his food on units.
He's added a second TC, Lidakor.
Ooh.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And part of the reason why I don't like this is because as the English, the King's Palace is a second TC. And it's also an age up. And so now you're in a difficult spot where you're committing to the second age. Your enemy's going to be up in the third age. You're going to be fighting downhill, or uphill rather, against your opponent. And be in a very difficult spot. And you can go for that King's Palace to look to age up as well, but then you're going to be on 3 TCs. And if your opponent's sitting on 1 base, that's a window. That is a big window for your opponent to attack you, to kill you. And has he chopped through, or has he just made his way around?
Oh, he just made his way around.
He's got to be careful.
Looks like Mista is not grabbing the upgrades just yet. No veteran horseman, no defense upgrade yet. Looks like he's a little low on resources for that. Instead, he's making mangonels.
Oh no, Viper is going to be in tough positions right now, as that was a beautiful Mangonel shot, just cleaning up all those spears on the front line. Mangonel reloading, beginning to move forward as a couple archers move back towards that Springald, and Viper realizes he might be in trouble as he needs to get up to the castle age, and he needs to get up right now.
That's a difficult thing to do right now, because he also needs to reinforce his army. If Mista gets those castle age upgrades in, Viper is going to be in a pretty difficult spot. Mista once again going for a couple of camel archers. He went with the Poacher Wing again, so that's a little surprising.
Did he go with Culture Wing again, did he?
He did. That's Poacher Wing.
Oh my... I don't know why he's gone up now twice with that. I feel like Military Wing is much better in these situations, but we'll have to wait. We'll have to see what he's able to achieve. He's going to be moving in now with the Mangonels and looking to potentially siege down this fortified tower. Take a look at Viper's tower, 2,000 HP on this bad boy. Going to be an extra tanky boy, but he's got to be careful as he moves the Springalds into point-blank range and takes out a villager, and now going to be tanking that tower ever so slowly.
A battering ram would help quite a bit here for Mista, but of course he wants to spend all his wood and gold on mangonels, plus of course Springolds. Some Lancers coming in, and that's the real problem that Viper's gonna face soon.
A wonderful composition at this point from the Viper, or from the Mista rather. Viper now going to be going up with the White Tower. So once again, a player going up with the White Tower. It's rare that we see this landmark coming out. And now that Mangonel going to continue firing down. We do see 4 units inside this. It's just a bunch of spears. Horsemen got to be careful as Viper looks to pick up a couple of units and trade out with them, but not managing to take any of them down. And now the battering ram continues to batter down the remaining parts of Viper's base.
Viper knows he's in trouble, that's why he's going up with the White Tower. But the thing is that Mista can just change the angle of attack and hit this part of Viper's eco and still be very efficient.
Yeah, he's looking to take down some houses. Viper's got plenty of population space at the moment. He's got to be careful, though. This house goes down. He's going to be down to 110 population, and there is a second house that does remain, and we can actually see Mista moving towards it, and a Mangonel shot landing on the men-at-arms, not doing too much damage at the moment, and the town center going to begin firing on that Mangonel. So now, behind this, I'm curious to know, has Viper got a Springald queued up?
Viper... he doesn't have anything queued up. He's getting the defensive Springald. At this point, I feel like Network of Citadels would be the best thing for him. He needs that extra 25% attack rate boost when he's fighting close to his base.
Yeah, I'd also love to see from him, in addition to that, look at all the Springald towers that are coming up now from Viper. He's got 1 Springald tower, second tower is coming out, or second outpost coming out. Viper actually cancelled the Springald on his White Castle to the south. So he's going to be just looking to continue to make Springalds here, but doing a great job, the Mista is, as he continues to build up this siege force on the front line.
Mista right now at 38 army. Quite a decent amount of Lancers in now with, I believe, the defense upgrade as well. No, he's still missing the +2 defense.
He's got +1. Is it going to be enough for him? The enemy does have veteran archers, so it's important to note these guys are going to be putting out a lot of damage. So any armor that you can have is going to help you out. But now Viper probably going to be losing this second town center. I don't think there's any way you can really hold on to this.
He's bringing a Springald, and there's only one battering ram that's quite heavily battered. Viper will lose his Springald in the process, though. I think at this point, Viper needs to sacrifice this DC to buy himself some more time.
Yeah, this is a tough position for Viper because he didn't go up with that King's Palace. He has only got this as his only expansion. So by losing this, it's going to even up the town center numbers. And we can see the Mangonels just trying to take out those Springald towers over towards the northern part of Viper's base and having quite a bit of trouble with that.
Viper is trying to transition into men-at-arms here. We're seeing an increased amount of men-at-arms hitting the field. But those will still struggle against the Lancers here, so I believe Mista's unit composition is still far better.
Yeah, Mista's got a lot of different units. We've got horsemen, scouts in there as well, a couple of lancers. We've got archers on the back line that just continue making this siege. Springalds, Mangonels, rams, you name it, he's got it. The only unit he's missing at this point are spears and men-at-arms.
Viper's got a lot of longbows though, but he's already forced to mass migrate, so at this point the problem is that his economy is falling apart.
Yeah, now Mista being pop-capped a little bit, but managing to now train it out. And we can see the difference between population between these two players as Mista continues to come around the back of the base of Viper and really respecting that white tower and forcing himself to stay away from it. That white tower sitting at the front of the base and just making sure that he doesn't go anywhere near it. Going to be coming in for the infrastructure of the Viper at this point and looking to take down those houses.
That's going to be annoying for Viper, especially considering that he had to relocate his entire Vood income. Those Springles will be able to take down some of the Rams, though.
Yeah, a couple Springles are going to be able to do or dish out some damage here on the back line. But the main concern that I've got is those Springles coming up now from the Mister. We see them moving up, managing to get up one shot, it seems like, but managing to actually do a pretty decent job. And Viper, once again, doing a great job with the micro on his Springled. Actually going to be able to take out that Ram.
Viper also intercepted quite a lot of reinforcements here with his longbow force. He's looking to turtle this out, but behind this, he has actually fallen behind in eco. It's 57 villagers right now for him. Mista is at 65, and I believe Mista is still one town center.
Yeah, so not even adding a second town center. So losing a fair amount of villagers there, as well as obviously losing a second town center for Viper. So he's in a bit of a difficult spot. Now, does Mister, he seems not to be pressing his advantage. He's moving his whole army very slowly. Springald's moving up towards the north, looking to intercept it. They get a couple shots over on towards that Lancer at the north side. And Viper now looking to close in and seal the deal for him. Look how many Lancers are on the front line. I'm a little bit concerned right now for Viper because all of these Lancers are going to be coming straight on top of the archers of his opponent. Is there any way that Viper holds right now?
He needs to retreat to the range of the white tower. That's his only chance. His archers are spread out. He could try to deploy the palings, but he's getting pushed back quite relentlessly here.
Do we have any technologies that have come through on this white tower? If we got any potential boiling oil that comes out? No, we do not. We don't even have a Springald at this point. The network of castles still not being upgraded to the Citadel's upgrade. And now we see a battering ram going to be going down for these archers on the back line. And Viper falling back to that castle and being able to hold for the moment. But with battering rams come in, that's going to spoil the end for him undoubtedly.
The Lancers are still missing the +2 defense, which starts to be a very annoying problem for Mista, because with that, he could easily take this fight without. It's a little bit sketchier.
Makes it difficult for Mister. Are we able to take a look and see whether he's got that upgrade coming through? Surely he should realize at any point. There it is, finally coming in. Wedge Rivets going to be giving him that +2 pierce armor and really helping him out. Are we able to take a look from Viper's perspective? Has he got that +2 armor just yet, or +2 attack just yet through his blacksmith? He does not indeed have that. No +2 upgrades for anything, actually. He's actually just getting military academy. Going to look to reduce the train time on all of his military production buildings. Definitely makes sense. But once again, we see a player dropping down a siege workshop when they've got the White Castle, which could very easily be making that Springald instead. So White Castle or White Tower is down here. And then Springald's and a second siege workshop coming in. Players just failing to realize that that their White Castle can actually be utilized to construct Springalds.
Viper is very, very heavy on stone, so it's possible he wants to stall this game out with another defensive castle in the north and just play a slow game. Mista will see that, and Viper's gonna have to react to this one with his spears.
Yeah, a lot of villagers here on the back line. Stone miners as well as gold miners, and going to be chasing them away with the spears. These do look to be upgraded spears, veteran spears, and Viper dropping down TC and giving that information to his enemy as he does it as well. So now going to know that he is looking to expand as well. So once again, that opens up a timing window for the Mister. When you drop down a town center, that right there is a significant point of investment because you've literally just invested 700 resources that you can no longer build Springalds with, that you can no longer get the Springald emplacements with, that you can no longer upgrade towers with, and on top of that, you're going to need to invest further resources in villagers.
Viper is moving into the right side, getting the network of castles bonus expanded to all the way up his hill. Looks like we might have Mista moving in soon, though, with just a single battering ram for the time being.
Yeah, this battering ram could spoil the end for Viper. Once again, we have seen battering ram pushes get shut down by all those Springald towers, so perhaps we'll see the same thing. Villagers now on this front berry patch. No outpost to be saved, and unfortunately, they're going to try their best to get out of here, getting chased away with a couple of spears and now moving down towards the south.
Reaction from Mista is to pull back his forces, which I believe is perfect for Viper. He just made his opponent withdraw his entire army from the siege just by probing this berry patch, killing a few vills.
Yeah, very, very nice moves there from Viper, and I suspect that the Mister is not going to be too happy with the way that one has been played. But now Mister going to be looking at doing some multitasking, Multiple raids going to be hitting the Viper as he's under attack in different parts of the map. Actually, towards the main base of Viper as well, there is a Lancer that continues to attack underneath that main town center, and we can see it's now been cleaned up by those Springolds. But the Springolds now looking to get out on top of these Lancers, and really we can see this. If there's one word I would define this tournament as, I would say Springolds.
Absolutely. Springolds currently looking very, very powerful. It's a great general purpose unit that also happens to counter all other siege. Now, the Knight numbers are getting very high for Mista here. It's soon pretty close to just jumping on the entire army of Viper, no matter the circumstances.
Yeah, Viper looking to slowly get that mass of Springolds up. You can see he's sitting up about that 6-7 Springold mark right now. If he can look to get that up towards double digits, he's going to be in a very decent spot, even against a significant mass of Knights, just because obviously the Citadel or the Tower of Castles bonus is going to be buffing up those units, making sure they fire extra fast.
Looks like the economies are still pretty close. One thing that Mista could do is drop a siege workshop and get some trebuchets out, because that would help immensely taking down the White Tower, taking down the TC, and these are the free landmarks to destroy. If Mista destroys these, it's game over.
Yeah, I would love to see that as well. My main concern is in the event he does go for a trebuchet, he's not really going to be able to defend it against a Springold snipe. So we would need to see maybe even a forward castle come in for him, or a forward keep combined with a trebuchet. That way he'd be able to hold out, because otherwise that trebuchet is just going to get sniped down by those Springolds. You can see the Springold mass really beginning to build for the Viper. And keep in mind, I've said this before, I'll say it again, Springolds really are the anti-air of the land, if that makes sense. So if you can have artillery superiority, you can maintain that over your opponent, and it means they can't make mangonels, it means they can't make bombards, because you maintain that superiority because of your Springold mass. And that's what Viper is looking to achieve right now. We've got 3 mangonels coming out for the Mista, which is enough to one-shot any infantry unit, bar the men-at-arms.
Mista is looking to try and control the gold mines here and starve Viper out of gold. Viper pretty much depleted this gold mine at the back of his base. This one is being overseen by the Lancer, and the right side one is also getting depleted. So soon Viper is going to have to make a move to secure some more gold for himself.
Yeah, Viper's going to be in a bit of a difficult spot unless he secures that gold. We see the Mista actually camping on both of those gold mines and really looking to shore up his line of sight down here towards the south as well, dropping down another outpost. And veteran upgrades going to be coming through for Mista. And now we've got ourselves a little castle on the hill. Ed Sheeran taking a notepad out and going to be documenting his experience here with this castle. But Mista definitely going to be happy with the line of sight it provides and the dominance it gives.
It's a beautiful castle. It also overlooks this sacred site. And speaking of sacred sites, Mista could force Viper to make a move just by starting to control all 3 sacred sites, because it's definitely an option for him.
Yeah, one of the things I noted when this game started was that the sacred sites are actually pretty favorable towards the Mista. A couple of them down towards the south, very accessible to him, whereas that one on the north a little bit more favorable towards the Viper. Mista looks like he might be getting raided a bit back at home, but Mangonel shot. Oh my god, Mangonel shot, go back, please go back. Oh my lord, the Mangonels on the hill, they're gonna do it. Oh, they're gonna do it on the stone mine, taking out all the villagers on gold. He's found himself a nice little angle here right now.
That's a beautiful angle.
Imagine if he can get trebuchets up here. He is literally going to be able to sit up here with impunity.
Yeah, I think this is the literal definition of the hill advantage that you have over here. Viper will be forced to make a move soon, as he's moving to the left side of all the Springolds. I wonder if he wants to push this side. Does he know about the keep? He does.
He does. Okay, he must have... Is there outpost line of sight on that keep? What is he looking to push that keep with? Because I'm assuming Boiling Oil has been 100% researched by the Mista. He is no slouch when it comes to that upgrade. It hasn't. A little bit of a slouch right there. Mista, what are you doing, mate? Letting yourself down, letting the team down right now. A little bit nice raid coming in on the top side as well. Viper looking like he might be in a bit of trouble here.
Viper
I really feel like the walls are closing in on him.
Absolutely. He's got so limited map control, and this castle also protects this gold mine, so Viper is starting to run out of resources. Not only gold, but also wood. Look at this. This wood line is getting close to being depleted. Mista could contest that. And on the north, he doesn't have a huge amount of wood to work with, so in like the next 10 minutes or so, he could run out of wood.
That's a really good point. There's obviously the wood in the middle. He's got to be careful with that. Wants to avoid an overchop there. But yeah, 3 forests to work through in that direction. But now Triple Ram's going to be coming out for the Viper, looking to secure his point here, realizing that he needs to not only secure a wood line, but also needs that late game gold.
Spearman coming from the north as well. Mista has some knights here to defend, but Viper's got quite a lot of spearmen to support, and Mista's army is on the wrong side of the map right now for this fight.
Yeah, no real way through the center either. He's going to be in a tough spot. Otherwise, he'd have to walk past that white tower. You and I both know he doesn't want to make that trek. So this castle is going to go down. Villagers getting chased away by some spears. And it looks like Mista just trying his best to regroup. A lot of infantry here for Viper. And my main concern at this point is that if one Mangonel shot gets off, the game is finished.
It is indeed the case. There is Viper moving up to secure that hill with the castle. Mista is doing some raiding, but I feel like the outcome of this battle will be decided by the upcoming fight.
Yep, I've definitely got to agree with you there. And Mista definitely heads into it as a favorite. He's got a significant military advantage. A lot of units begin to fold their way through the stealth forest as they begin to hit the front line. Mangonel shots going off on those spears and looking pretty decent as he's coming in from multiple sides. A huge flank coming in from the north at the same time with a whole bunch of lancers managing to connect. And Viper right now is in disarray as he continues to be chased throughout the game, heading towards that castle. There's remnants of his army that remain, but unfortunately, it looks like it's been completely exhausted as Mangonels now begin firing at those units as well. Mista is looking incredibly strong in this game one, and I think we might have a little bit of an upset on this game one. What do you think, Lidakor?
Mista is just disintegrating Viper's entire army. Viper dropping to 30 army, but that will just drop even further once Viper has to fight those Lancers. I don't think that Mista lost a significant portion of his army in that fight. That was just a perfect surround using the Knights.
Incredible surround, and we did indeed see an overmake of longbows here. We talked about it before the game, we've talked about it early in the game, and we have definitely seen a little bit too many longbows made at this point.
And this is so many knights that you can just start running in the range of town centers, just jumping on TCs with your Lancers. You see Mista is even splitting his forces, focusing down villagers, focusing on the town center. I think it's only downhills from now on here for Viper.
Has Viper got veteran spearmen? Yeah, they are veteran. He does have the +2 armor as well, but he's got to be careful as this siege force now begins to move up. I love how Mista is moving up all of his forces together. It looks very funny because they just move so slowly, but obviously doing that to keep them safe. Mista now going to be taking out shots on those Springalds. Losing one Mangonel, the Mangonel gets a shot off. It looks like it misses those spears, but now we're going to see into the north of the battle that those Knights are looking to regroup down here with the main forces. And so many Knights here, I think he could probably just take this fight considering the upgrades that he's got. More Knights up towards the north and really looking overwhelmed. At this point, it looks like Viper has got less units than his enemy's got Knights, and that's never a position you want to be.
Absolutely, the castle's getting denied, Viper losing all the villagers, and he's dropping below 100 population. This is the end for Viper in game number 1, and he calls it!
GG over to the Mista. A little bit of an upset in the first game. A lot of people coming into this game thinking that the English would have the advantage, but the Mista definitely showing his skill right there with a single town center throughout that 32-minute game.
Was Viper a little too passive here? He had a pretty big mass of archers, but he sort of just tried to play a double town center game and allowed Mista to get to Lancers.
And that was really the difficult spot. As soon as I spotted that second town center, I said, we have a problem. We're now moving into this final game. 15 seconds to go, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't already, make sure you get your bet in for those juicy EGC TV channel points. We're going to be watching as the Mongols take us into this.
Lorigan? Yuri? Rogan? Zokontal.
Malamaz.
Omas.
Malamaz.
Zokontal.
Malamaz.
Donna.
Malamaz.
Rogan? Lorigan?
Malamaz.
Donna.
Malamaz.
Rogan? Zokontal. Rogan? Donna. Oklahoma?
Malamaz. Alamos.
Omus. Omus. Donna E.
Alamos.
Oklahoma. Omus. Donna E. Omus. Oklahoma. Donna Rogan. Omus. Omus. Zokonta.
Alamos.
Zokonta. Omus. 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 Omus.
Alamos.
Omus. Zokonta. Omus.
Alamos.
Rogan. Omus. Oklahoma. Omus. Rogan.
Alamos.
Zokonta. Omus. Glory.
Alamos.
Rogan.
Alamos.
Omus. Glory.
Tonic.
Oklahoma. Glory. Omus. Donna E. Oklahoma. Omus.
Alamos. Alamos.
Omus.
Alamos.
Glory. Omus. Yuri. Glory.
Alamos.
Omus.
Alamos.
Omus. Donna E.
Alamos.
Omus. Donna Rogan. Omus. Omus.
Clear my
Omus.
Erictus.
Omus.
Erictus.
Omus. Unes.
Alamos.
Omus. Unes.
Alamos.
Omus.
Erictus.
Omus.
Alamos.
Papadakis. Papadakis.
Tonic.
Omus. Omus.
Alamos.
Darwini. Hunes. Redkit. Hunes. Pappadakis.
Pluribus.
Ibertonic. Holmes. Hunes. Yuri. Holmes. Darwin. Papadakis. Holmes. Ite. Papadakis. Papadakis.
Erectus.
Papadakis.
Pluribus.
Oklahoma. Papadakis. Oklahoma, Darwin, Rogan, Papadakis, Papadakis, Hunes, Papadakis, Ibertonic. Papadakis,
Erectus.
Hunes, Hunes, Somas,
Erectus.
Ite,
Pluribus.
Papadakis. Donna E. Papadakis. Kalare. Rogan. Holmes. Papadakis.
Erectus.
Ite. Papadakis. Ibertonic. Hunes. Ite.
Erectus.
Donna E. Papadakis. Papadakis. Redkit. Ite. Papadakis. Papadakis.
Pluribus.
Holmes. Hunes. Ibertonic. Holmes.
Erectus. Pluribus.
Ibertonic.
Pluribus.
Papadakis. Papadakus. 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 Yes. Oh yeah. Start the game already.
Yes.
Volamos. Volamos.
Holmes.
Volamos. 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 Volamos.
Donna E.
Volamos.
Oklahoma. Kalare.
Volamos. Volamos. Volamos.
Holmes.
Valare,
Donna E.
Malamos, Malamos,
Zokonta. Zokonta.
Rogan.
Malamos, Malamos,
Zokonta.
Donna E. Holmes. Donna
Rogan.
Malamos,
Zokonta.
Donna
Valare. Zokonta.
Donna E.
Zokonta. 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 Zokonta.
Oklahoma.
Yuri.
Rogan. Oklahoma. Donna E.
Yuri.
Oklahoma.
Zokonta.
Donna E. Oklahoma. Valare.
Isa.
Oklahoma.
Rogan.
Oklahoma. Valare.
Rogan. Isa. Yuri.
Oklahoma.
Omus. Rogan.
Donna E. Oklahoma.
Yuri.
Valare.
Rogan. Omus. Rogan.
Oklahoma. Donna
Rogan.
E. Oklahoma.
Rogan.
Valare.
Rogan. Yuri. Yuri.
Donna E.
Rogan.
Oklahoma.
Yuri.
Oklahoma.
Yuri.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Donna E.
Rogan. Yuri.
Oklahoma. Donna E. Donna E.
Yuri.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
Yuri.
Holmes. Oklahoma. Donna E.
Yuri.
Donna E. Oklahoma.
Yuri. Omus. Yuri. Rogan.
Donna E.
Oklahoma. Rogan.
Donna E.
Yuri.
Donna E. Oklahoma.
Yuri.
Donna E. Oklahoma.
Rogan.
Donna E.
Rogan. Yuri.
Oklahoma.
Omus.
Valare.
Rogan. Rogan. Yuri.
Oklahoma.
Rogan.
Valare. Donna E. Donna E.
Rogan. Yuri.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
Rogan. Rogan. Yuri. Holmes.
Oklahoma.
Rogan.
Oklahoma. Donna E.
Oklahoma.
Donna E.
Holmes. Rogan.
Valare. Oklahoma.
Holmes.
Donna E. Kalari, Rogan, Somas, Yuri, Kalari, Kalari,
Malamos. Malamos.
Yuri, Somas, Rogan, Oklama, Rogan, Kalari, Donna E, Zokonta,
Malamos.
Rogan, Oklama, Oklama, Homus, Donna Oklama,
Malamos. 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 Malamos.
Donna Yuri,
Malamos.
Darwin, Donna Oklama, Rogan,
Malamos. 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 Malamos.
Donna
Malamos. Malamos.
Homus, Homus, Oklama, Yuri, Oklama, Oklama, Donna E,
Malamos. Malamos. Malamos.
Homus,
Malamos.
Yuri, Rogan,
Malamos.
Oklama,
Malamos. Malamos. Malamos.
Yuri, Rogan,
Malamos. Malamos. Malamos.
Homus,
Malamos.
Donna E,
Malamos.
Donna E, Darwin, Rogan,
Malamos.
Donna Yuri,
Malamos.
Rogan, Darwin,
Malamos.
Donna Yuri,
Malamos. Malamos.
Donna E,
Malamos.
Donna E,
Malamos.
Donna Oklama,
Malamos.
Oklama,
Malamos. Malamos. Malamos.
Oklama,
Malamos.
Rogan, Oklama, Yuri, Homus, Donna Rogan,
Malamos. Malamos.
Donna Yuri, Isa, Yuri,
Malamos.
Homus, Donna E, Isa, Donna Yuri,
Malamos.
Isa, Donna E,
Malamos.
Yuri, Isa, Rogan, Donna, Isa, Donna,
Malamos.
Yuri,
Malamos.
Rogan, Isa,
Malamos.
Donna,
Malamos.
Donna, Isa, Donna, Rogan, Oklama, Rogan,
Malamos.
Oklama, Rogan, Isa, Homus, Yuri, Rogan, Isa, Rogan, Oklama,
Malamos. Malamos.
Yuri,
Malamos.
Donna, Oklama, Yuri, Rogan,
Malamos. Malamos.
Donna, Rogan,
Malamos. Malamos.
Isa, Donna, Yuri,
Malamos. Malamos.
Kalari, Homus, Kalari, Rogan,
Malamos. Malamos.
Oklama, Homus, Oklama, Yuri, Donna, Rogan, Donna, Oklama, Rogan, Rogan, Yuri, Isa, Donna, Oklama, Isa, Donna, Donna, E, Donna, Rogan, Yuri, Oklama, Yuri,
Malamos.
Oklama, Isa, Donna, Isa, Yuri, Rogan, Rogan,
Malamos.
Isa, Oklama, Rogan, Donna, Yuri, Isa, Isa, Rogan, Isa, Oklahoma,
Isa,
Donna,
Oklahoma,
Rogan,
Oklahoma,
Rogan,
Malamos. Malamos.
Isa,
Malamos.
Rogan,
Omus, Rogan, Zokontal,
Oklahoma, Donna,
Yuri,
Malamos.
Rogan, Omus, Yuri,
Oklahoma,
Donna,
Rogan,
Isa,
Donna,
Lare, Zokontal, Zokontal,
Malamos.
Zokontal, Isa, Omus, Yuri, Isa,
Malamos.
Donna, Oklahoma, Donna,
Rogan,
Oklahoma,